Say hey, Yellow Jacket football fans. Welcome to In the Press Box. And joining me, as he does every time we do In the Press Box, is Calhoun's head football coach, Coach Clay Stevenson. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm great. We've had a good week of practice so far, coming off an off week. So kids are ready to excited, ready to get back out there and compete.
Yes, the bumps and bruises. We've been through a very difficult non-region schedule, and it was nice to have a healing period, if you can call that, from not this week but the week before.
Yeah, we had really all four quarter games, but two in a row. We had an off week mixed in there as well, but it was a Westminster, Cartersville, and Cambridge were all three games went into the fourth quarter. Some of them down to the final play. So a lot of guys that were banged up. That's playoff type football that was happening the first few weeks of the season, which was very good experience for everybody. I've said from day one, playing a schedule like that makes us better coaches, makes us better players, and makes us more prepared, more sharp when we get to those situations in the playoffs. And we were able to get through them without any major injuries. We had some hurt guys, but they'll be back either this week or next week. So, and all in all, we want to win those football games. But looking back at it, we feel like we did get better, and playing those teams like that, exposes a little bit. I've talked with several of the coaches we've played kind of both ways of we were good for them to play and they were good for us to play. Just kind of expose some weaknesses early on in the year that you can get fixed throughout the year going into the region play and then hopefully in the playoffs.
We had a lot going into last season. We had to replace a lot of starters. This year we had a lot of starters back, but even though they've had a year of starting under their belt, when you're a junior or a senior and it's on you, and particularly for the seniors, this is your last season, a little bit of pressure there too.
Yeah, a lot of stars back. We also had several that have changed positions.
Yes.
We had just on defensive, Kenneth moved to corner. Kenneth Hudson moved to corner, and we've had to move the defensive line around because Jackson Williams got hurt in the scrimmage, which we're looking to get him back in the next couple of weeks. We had to move Upshaw from stat linebacker down to defensive end. So I've had to kind of shuffle people around on that side, and then Hudson and Isaiah both were starters offensively last year, and now they're starting kind of both sides of the ball. So a lot of moving parts, but I feel good with where we are. We still got a long way to go to get to where we want to get to. Hopefully we take a big step this week with our first region game and the new season of sorts. We got 6 games in a row. I told the kids on Monday during our meeting, this is the fun part of football. Right. All of the summer stuff and all the off weeks and all of the other stuff is, and even those first 4 games are just they're pride games. You want to win those games, but when you lose them, it hurts your pride. But also, winning the region championships are one of our goals for the year. So, and that starts this week, regardless of what we were going into it. So, I think the kids are in a good mindset going forward, and we've had a good week of practice. Like I said, we're ready to get out there on Friday night.
Yeah, we're doing this on Wednesday morning. So, did you have practice this morning?
We did. Yeah.
Then you have one more Thursday, and a morning practice.
Yeah. It was finally just a normal, true game week schedule because we had an off week last week, and Labor Day was the week before. So it's good to just have a set schedule for this week and next week, even though next week is homecoming. And the week after that, I think it's fall break, maybe somewhere in there. So we get a couple of weeks of a normal schedule, which is great.
Yeah, it'll work out really, really well. Well, let's talk a little bit about Adairsville. You went and saw them last week. You were on your busman's holiday scouting.
Yeah, Adairsville, like I said earlier, they're so I've been here for 22 years. That's always kind of been the one of the main rivals that you look at with any sport. You kind of circle that date. Circle that date for that game. So looking forward to it, and obviously it's the first region game too, so that makes it that much better. Coach Cudd is a great coach, hard nosed coach.
Yes,
Gets the kids playing hard. They're very scrappy offensively. They do what they do really well. They've got a quarterback that can. It kind of reminds me of the Westminster quarterback a little bit. Just a great competitor. Nothing real flashy, but it can keep them in the ball games. And they got a couple of backs that can break it at any given time. Big offensive line. So we'll have to play hard defensively to contain those guys and then flip it over. They've changed defenses a little bit. They've been a 4-man front for a long time, for as long as I can remember, and they've kind of transitioned to a 3-man front this year. So a little bit different right there, but they do a lot to try to bring pressure and try to get you in some bad situations. We kind of is similar to Cambridge's defense in alignment. They're a 3-3 stack as well, and then they bring a lot of pressure that Cambridge did 2 weeks ago. So not sure what the change was for. Maybe they don't have that fourth defensive lineman, but Coach Cudd does a great job, and they'll be ready to play.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Number 23. He's an outside linebacker. His first name's Jake. I'll probably call him just Jake B until I talk to somebody. It's Barszcz. He had an outstanding stat game last week. You mentioned earlier Colton Sanford, number 4, senior, their strong safety. His defensive stats, he has 5 tackles for loss and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, if people get to watch the game, that number 4 he's fun to watch. He plays football the right way. He's very hard nosed, and he's a little bit of everywhere. You look out and he's in a little. He's deep in coverage some. He's rushing the passer some, but he's making a lot of tackles. Then flip over on offense, and I think he scored their first touchdown, maybe their second touchdown against Lafayette. So I think
he's also a wide receiver, folks.
Yeah, I think he's their their guy that makes them go. So he'll be one of those guys that we got to make sure we keep an eye on the whole game.
Exactly. Special teams, because we have faced 2 of the 4 teams. We had to do 80-yard drives every time we got the ball.
Yeah. Those kickers were really good, but they're solid in special teams. They're quarterbacks, they're punter. So it's always dangerous when you got an athlete back there punting. And then kickoff wise, they do a little bit like we do. They can kick it a little bit everywhere. They've got some sky kicks and some squibs and some deep kicks. So they do a little bit of everything, but same kind of thing of they try to keep it away from your guys that can take you to the house. So obviously we got to win special teams, and with special teams comes field position. That's something that we haven't done a great job of. If you look at the stat line, I guess, from the first 4 games, something we got to keep working on as we go throughout the year.
We do have some guys that are dangerous offensively as well as defensively. You mentioned a lot of the guys, the Sager Quinns, the Alec Upshaws, and Bo Kellys, and everything that we're doing defensively, and it goes from the down lineman back into the secondary. Offensively, we got some guys that can get to the house pretty quick, and offensively, the pound and shoot offense has done a good job.
Yeah, when you're looking at field position, it hasn't affected us too much, or hasn't affected us really at all offensively. We've been able to take it where we've got it and flip the field, if not put it down there and score. But like you said, having guys that can make plays makes it a lot easier. So hopefully we can keep giving those guys situations and putting them in spots where they can keep making plays.
One of my favorite plays so far this season in the first 4 games is to watch Jutt work the field, watch the Hogs, Bagley's Beast, give the protection for Trace to have time to throw, and then watching the DB just at the snap of the ball, backpedaling like crazy, and the play call, the DB didn't know the play call, but it's just a quick down and out for whether it's for 8 yards or 9 or 12 yards, and he catches it, and Jutt's got 5 yards between him and the guy when he steps out of bounds. It's humorous for me to watch.
Yeah,
because we're dangerous there.
Yeah, they've got a good connection. Trace and Justin have a good connection out there on the edge. So hopefully like I said, keep giving those guys situations to where they can make plays.
Yeah, we look at Tracy as 989 yards passing, 67% completion percentage. He's averaging 16 yards completion percentage. You look at Jutt's stats, and I'm going to get to them here fairly quickly. You probably have them off the top.
He's got 560 yards or something like that. He was leading 3A last week. We were obviously off, so I'm sure somebody has passed him this week. We've had 2 off weeks, so I doubt he's still up there, but I think it's 500 and something yards.
581,
yeah.
29 receptions. He's averaging 20 yards a catch.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And so my humor is when he does a 8 to 12 yard down and out, and there's nobody around him. But it's a design play, and it's next to the sidelines, and maybe it's a second and long or a third and long, and all we need is a first down to keep the drive going. But there's nobody around him.
Yeah, his stats will be through the roof. Coach Law and I were talking this week if we could have connected on a couple of those. The Cartersville game,
yes.
Those were added 70 yards each catch, but couldn't do it. But no, they're doing a great job, and the offensive line's coming together and giving Trace protection to be able to go through his reads and find the open guy.
Yeah, it's amazing when you look at our offensive stats. Last week's, I don't know if you remember. You want me to recite them?
I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay. Players of the game, offensive, were Trace and Jutt, and obviously they did a lot. The defensive player of the year was Blake Hammond. Now, Blake missed a couple games, and now he leads the team in tackles, and he's just
Blake's
all over the place.
Yeah, Blake's done a great job. Natural tackler, natural reader, doing a good job.
Special teams player of the week was Jaden Perkins. He's doing a fantastic job. Hog of the week was Trey Perkins, and last week he played a lot of defensive snaps.
Yeah, I think he ended up playing 15 or 16 snaps on defense. Then we had a pretty good bit of snaps on offense as well, and he's playing at a really high level.
Hard speed, extra mile was Jackson Moore and Bo Kelly, and got a kick out of Bo Kelly's touchdown.
A kick. Yeah. He did a good job. It was a really good route. When you go back and look at it, he sold it out and then had to wheel up the sideline and got to the end zone.
Yeah, just a fantastic job. Health-wise, as you mentioned earlier, we seem to be getting a lot better.
Yeah. We're, like I said, we've got some hurt guys, not necessarily injured, so
right.
That have been battling through some things the last few weeks. But it looks like maybe by homecoming, but at least the next week we should have everybody, fully healthy and ready to go.
Knock on wood that nothing else happens.
That's right.
Between now and then. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Do you talk much about? All right, we've got 6 games in a row, guys. Is there a mental aspect that you really? We got a month and a half of no breaks.
Yeah, well, I showed them our when we get together and meet as a staff in the spring, we come up with goals for the year, and I normally don't share them with the players, but I shared them with them this year, and obviously we've got several goals throughout the year. I think we ended up with 5 or 6 of them, and 3 of them have already passed, and I think we're 1 out of 3 on the goal so far. But our last 3 are still right in front of us. So that's kind of the message of we're right where we were last year as far as reaching goals for the year, and none of that. Those first 3 mattered when it looks for the, obviously want to win a region championship, host some playoff games, and make a run in playoffs. So I think the kids are, like I said, they're excited. They're in a good mental place, I feel like, and they know what we need to do. And I have sensed a little bit sense of excitement throughout this week, and because, like I said, this is the fun part. There's no more off weeks, and it's 6 region games. And the way region works is every game kind of gets magnified throughout the year, regardless of who you're playing, because of when you're trying to win a region championship. So hopefully we'll go out Friday night and play the type of football where we know we can play.
And this is a rivalry game.
Yeah, like we talked about the other day, there's several kids that grew up together, and it's so close that all the kids know each other, and know families that know each other, and have girlfriends that are down there and girlfriends that are up here. So it's should be a good matchup.
and it's only about 8 miles away.
That's right.
This is a nice road trip.
Yes, it is. It makes the ride back nice.
All right. Yeah, we're looking forward to the game. So, hey, folks, come to the game, fill the stadium, wear your black and gold, enjoy a wonderful night. The weather's going to be good, and it's not going to be stifling hot. It'll be hot for the players on the field, of course, but for us fans in the stands, it will be a nice game. Any final comments?
I look forward to getting back out there Friday night and giving it a go.
I'm looking forward to the same thing. I can't wait to get there. Folks, we really appreciate you listening to In the Press Box with Coach Clay Stevenson. It's brought to you by the Calhoun Touchdown Club. Just go to the CalhounTDClub.com, and you can listen to In the Press Box with Coach Clay Stevenson anytime that you want. You've been listening to In the Press Box with head football Calhoun coach Clay Stevenson.